Hi peeps. Okay, today I've got a little bit of a journey. I have been looking for a very long time for the perfect gold paint to go around the edge of my coasters. This is just a thin blank I did with some leftover resin, and I want something to edge. Now I've seen lots of people use lots of different things. Some, okay, I've been impressed by, some I haven't. Some I can't get here in the UK, because there's obviously, I find that there's quite a lot more options in America than there is here. So I have gone on the hunt for some different types to see whether they're any good for the purpose that I want. So we've got, to start off with, I've got 7 different types. I've just got a normal acrylic paint, which I know some people use and they find fine. I have tried to use this before. I wasn't super happy with the results, but we're going to compare the others to this. So we've got gold acrylic paint. I've got more of a, it's a Johnstone's metallic paint. This one I think is more for furniture and stuff, so I'm not sure whether it will have a very good effect on resin, but we'll have a look. Then we've got an enamel paint, so Plasticoat enamel, and we'll see whether that's as good as the water-based. Then I've got Pebeo Deco Craft, and that says these are water-based. I'm not sure if what base the enamel is, but that's for metal as well, so I'm hoping that's going to be quite a good one. This one is a water-based. Whether that's going to make, they're also permanent, whether it's going to make any difference. Then we've got liquid gold leaf. I've heard really good things about this one. Never tried it, but I've heard really good stuff about this one. And then this one is the one I'm most excited to try. This is MTN Liquid Gold. Now I did see an advert for this, and then I had a look on some reviews. I could only get it from one place in the UK. There may be others, but I could only find it on eBay. And it's not cheap, but people rave about this, so I'm really excited to try this one, because if this, they do it in other colours. They do spray paints and things like that, but that's not any good for what I want. But if this works, I shall be super happy. And that was sent with a pen, which is much easier, to be honest, when you're doing coasters and things. To have it in a pen is going to be really handy. And then the other one is, the last one is a gold Posca pen. I've seen people use Posca pens to do their coasters, so we'll have a look and see. I want a nice clean finish, but I don't want streaks, so I'd like a uniform colour, yeah, without sort of any streaks and major runs. I've got some craft coloured paper to start with, to see what they're like directly onto here, to see how opaque they are, and then we'll have a look at some little pieces of resin. So I'll just write okay, so then we've got the Johnstones, then we've got the Plasticoat, the Deco Craft, the Liquid Leaf, MTN, and then Posca. Okay, so I'm just going to do, we'll see how this one goes. Okay, so what I find with the acrylic paint, it's lovely, it gives a nice shine, but it's very transparent. So we'll wait a couple of seconds and over that. Done a nice even thick coat of that one. You may need 2 or 3 coats, but I want to just see what one thick coat's like. Because I'd prefer not to have something that I've got to do like 3 or 4 coats of. It would be much easier if it was simple. Yeah, and not a million coats. So we'll open this one. Obviously this one's bigger because it's more for furniture. Let's see if it's going to open. Come on. Oh, I think we're getting somewhere. There we go. This one's quite thick. So it's nice and thick. Slightly more opaque than the acrylic. Okay. I'm going to get very messy. There are worse things to be covered in than gold, but you know, I'm going to get very messy, aren't I? And the enamel, give it a good shake. Now this one is brass, so the colour's not going to be quite there, but I couldn't get gold in this one. It was copper, brass and pewter. I didn't quite have gold. So that the colour's slightly off. It's very, very thin. But I'm not sure if it's because the colour. Yeah, it looks very, very thin. And it does separate a lot. So you have to keep stirring and keep mixing and keep. So this one is slightly frustrating, I think. And I don't think it's very thick. I think that one would need several coats. So, Decograph next. Oh, this one's nice and bright. And I think instantly the coverage of that one is going to be slightly better. Look at that. Lovely and shiny. Lovely and gold. I think this is thicker. It has like a dropper, but it is thicker. So that one. That one I've got a little bit more hopes on. Then we've got the gold leaf. This one, I've heard great things about this one. So I'm really excited to try this. Ooh, and it dries really quick. Look at that. You can see the shine disappear on it almost immediately. That's amazing. Some of these are still wet and this one's just... Look at the end of the paintbrush. It is just like gold leaf. It's like I've just dipped it in liquid gold. That is so pretty. Okay, loving that one. Okay, now there's 2 balls in the bottom of this and you have to fill it yourself. Shake it up. Now I've not used this yet, so we're clear, so I'm just going to, and I think we've got 2, yeah, I can see it running down. Ooh, look at that. That's really satisfying. That's really satisfying. Wow, that dries as fast as that one and is even more opaque. This is beautiful. Can you see that? Oh, that's amazing. I hope it looks as good on the coasters because that's beautiful. And then last but not least, Posca. The nib is really thin. You can get bigger, chunkier Posca pens, so I think it would be better having a thicker nib. These 2 way stand out to me. But this one so far, the MTN, looks brilliant. This one's taken a little bit longer to dry, but it's nice to apply with a pen. Right. Oh, okay, so looking on there, the plastic coat seems the thinnest, and the acrylic I can still see the paper through. But I think I'm most excited about the MTN and the liquid leaf. Right, let's give it a go. Okay, so I have each time I do a resin project and I have leftover resin, I put them into little moulds, any moulds that I've got left over. Oh, we've got a bit of fluff in that one. And I didn't have another clear one, so I put them into little shaker moulds or any other moulds that I've got lying around. And so I've pulled out several of them just so that we can try the paint on the resin. And let's have a look. So let's have a look. So acrylic paint first, and we'll have a look after 1 coat, then we'll have a look after 2. Okay, so acrylic paint first, and we'll just go with 1 to start with. I'll do them all and then I'll zoom you back out so we can have a look. So it's very, very clear. Very clear. I'm just going to do half of it, there's no point in going around the whole thing. Yeah, as I thought, very, very clear. That would take a lot of coats, and it's patchy. Okay, let's go number 1. So I'm going to try and put them, you might not be able to see them all quite yet, but I'm going to put them all in a row. So let's see if I can move you out a little bit. Okay, you can see all of those, that's fine. I don't have one of these cameras where you can see what you're looking at. I have to actually physically get up and have a look. Okay, so then we'll do the second one. Is the metallic stones. This is really thick, so I'm surprised it didn't come out really thick. Let's have a go. It might be that this is better on wood, or cardboard and stuff, or even distressing things. It would be a nice sort of distressing paint, I think. Perhaps that's more what it's for. Because it is, I don't know if it's even thinner than the acrylic. Okay. It's very thick, but then when you come to put it on, okay. Next, the enamel. Keep trying to shake them up in case. Yeah, because this really separates this enamel one. We'll do the hedgehog spot. Oh, it's almost not on there. It's that thin. Again, it does say perfect for all hobbies. Lots of materials, but yeah, not loving that one. The Decocraft. This is nice, but it is so thin. Look. It's difficult when you're painting on resin, I think, because it's such a slippery surface. So it's not like cardboard that will grab the colour, or, you know, it's difficult. But so far they're all... See, that acrylic paint's even better than that one. Yeah. That one's kind of pants. Okay. Liquid leaf. Now, I liked this one, didn't I? I liked this one. It's very thin, but it is like dipping your brush in liquid gold. So try that. Ooh, look at that. That is so far the best. You would still need 2 coats, but it is a much better coverage. Than the others. So you would need 2 coats, but that dries really quick. See, that's tacky already. And I could go straight over. Yeah, look at that. Straight over with another. I'm probably going to have a problem with my brushes after doing this one, because I don't think it's water-based, but I think it's... But in the name of science... Yeah. Now you could give another coat, but you can coat pretty quickly over that, which is great. Okay. Yeah, no, it doesn't really come off the brush, so that's fine. I've got some. It's lovely. I think dipping in that would be beautiful. Okay, now we'll go with my favourite on the paper was MTN. Okay, this one I didn't use because it overspilt, so we'll see. Okay, again, it's much It's easy with this brush, with this pen. I think you would need 2 coats, but look how fast it dries. Okay. The coverage of that's really nice. And the Bosca. And there's my little doggy. He's very noisy. That's really nice. That's got good coverage. Very wet though. It'll take a while to dry. So I'll give these a second coat and then we'll come back and we'll compare. Okay, so I've done 2 coats on each one and we'll compare. So the acrylic paint, which to be fair, if you wanted to do like 4 coats and you had nothing else, then the acrylic paint would work. It's patchy, but again, build up on the coats and it physically could work. The one that actually was the worst was this one, Johnstone's metallic paint. It says metallic finish for bits and bobs. I shook it and stirred it, but it just, look at it. It's not even as good as the acrylic paint. It's so thin, and it's shiny, but it's so thin that you would need like 6 coats, and I don't even know if you'd get. The next one was the Fast Dry Pro Enamel, the Project Enamel, sorry. I didn't find it particularly fast drying. In fact, the coat that I did 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago, is still wet. So it says fast dry. I don't know. Enamels normally take a long time to dry. But the coverage is better than the acrylic paint. Certainly better than the Johnstones. But it's still like, it pools. It's like so liquidy that it kind of pools in like one area. Can you see, like it's like still like drippy. Then you've got the Deco Craft, which is really patchy. Again, if you did 4, 5 coats, it's really patchy, but the bits that are covered are incredibly shiny and like glittery. The Liquid Leaf is lovely, and when you dip things in it, like the brush, it comes out and it's like a liquid gold. It really is pretty. But for resin, I find it pools a little bit. Can you see it's a bit patchy? It's not the best. It's a bit streaky. It's not the best finish. You would need at least 3 coats of that. And it's, I can't remember exactly how much it was, but it is expensive. I think it was about £6, this little one. 8. I think it was about between £6 and £8 for this little one. So I suppose it depends on where you can get it from. My hands down absolute favourite is the MTN, which I was hoping it would be, because it looked so nice when I saw somebody else using it. But that is 2 coats of the pen. Okay, in some of the little nooks and crannies it might be, you have to sort of get in there with a brush, but you can use it with a brush, it's fine. But look at that. It is like liquid gold. It is beautiful, it is opaque, it's not streaky, it's not pooling, it's lovely. Now that might be because the pen is easy to applicate than the brush, I'm not sure. But it is really nice. And then the last one is the Posca pen. Now, it actually goes on really easy because it's in the pen. It's slightly still wet, so it's not really quick drying. But then I think because you're on resin, things don't dry as easy. I mean, this dries like lightning, brilliant. But normally things take longer to dry on resin and glass, don't they? It's slightly streaky, but with 3 coats of this, I think you'd be okay. But the one thing I found about the Posca, can you see how dull it is? It's really not shiny finish at all. In fact, I think it's the dullest of all of them. Most definitely, there is not much shine left to that at all. So that's actually really quite disappointing. The coverage is much better than some of them, but it's really dull. Even on resin, it's really dull. So, comparing it with these, most definitely the best is the MTN. Most definitely. On paper, they perform better on paper. So if you're doing card crafts, paper mache, wood even, they're much better on paper's porous surfaces. When you get onto resin, it is a much harder thing. Now, I have done 1 coat. This is my tester coaster, and I've done 1 coat, and it looks lovely. It just looks, and it's so easy to go on. Again, a little bit in the nooks and crannies. Now, it isn't cheap. Well, to be fair, because it's sold in a big bottle, it was £12.50, this one. And I'll leave a link below to the site on eBay that I got it from. But it was £12.50. And you get the pen with that. And it's a refill. Now, I have seen it much more expensive. But look at that. It's so nice. So nice. It does smell a little bit. It's probably the smelliest out of all of them. But then if you've got if you're in a ventilated area. But I'm absolutely ecstatic because this is going to look so pretty on my coasters. I have a project in mind for this already, but I will be using this on an almost daily basis for my resin now because it is really easy. It says you can apply by brush, and they do a silver and was it a copper? So I'm absolutely definitely going to get those now. You can get thinner pens, thicker pens. For myself, what I want, the thicker chisel nib is much better. But you can get thinner pens. See there, you can get, this is the chisel one. It says 4 to 8 mil. 0.15 to 0.3 inches. But I couldn't be happier with this, to be honest. I'm absolutely blown away by it. I'm so excited to start to use it. You can use it, I'm wondering if I can use it in the resin as well. So when I'm doing coasters to actually like put streaks and stuff in. Whether that would be possible. So I'll have a look at that. I'll give that a go. I'll see if it sort of doesn't do anything weird to the resin or anything like that, so that it's still sets. Right, so I'm going to put them in order. Okay, so I've put them in order from my opinion. I mean, depends on what you're using them for, but from my opinion, for the resin for my coasters, this one was the worst, I'd say. It was really thin, hardly any coverage at all. Then the just normal acrylic paint. Other types of acrylic paint might be thicker, might be better coverage, but definitely you'd need about 4 coats. Then the Deco Craft, which was really pretty and shiny, but quite patchy. You'd need several coats. That would take several coats some time to do. Then the enamel, it's not fast dry. It isn't. And it pulls, but it's better coverage. It's thicker than this. It covers better. The liquid leaf is lovely. I really do like it, but I think it's probably better on more porous surfaces than resin. But 3 coats of this I think would do. that should be that way around. Posca pen next. Nice coverage, but it's really dull. It doesn't give that shiny appearance that I was looking for. My absolute standout, by far the best, is the MTN. Absolutely, hands down. I will definitely get the other colours, and this is amazing. Love it. So yeah, I'll get all the colours that are available in the liquid. They do spray paints and stuff, but that's not really feasible for what I want. But if you were doing furniture or other things, definitely this is brilliant. Right, I hope that was of some use to you. It was quite interesting for me and a little bit surprising, apart from this one. Yeah, I hope that was interesting. If you did enjoy my video, please like and subscribe. You'll really appreciate it, and it would mean the world to me. And hopefully I'll see you again soon, peeps. Take care. Bye-bye.